Okay, in this lesson we will finish creating our joints. So we were naming them. Now we will, let's see. This joint has for name shoulder. So this will be base shoulder. So we will name it left shoulder base. So what we're going to do is parent this joint to the base shoulder. Let's select the first joint, keep on pressing shift. Let's select the second joint and press the P key. It's the same as going to the menu edit and parent. This means now this is the joint root or the joint that rules the others. If I move this one, the others will also move. So now we have the left joints, base shoulder, then left elbow, and left wrist, okay? So far we're going fine, nothing too hard. Now let's create some joints for the foot so it can rotate from the heel and from the tip, okay? Um, those joints are known as reverse foot control. In this case we can name them that way too, because there's no reason to change the name because this is just right, okay? But it is important that you know that this is named that way in general. So let's go to the right view where we have created basically all the joints. The first joint starts in the heel, right here where our heel will be. When we rotate, when our character support his foot on the heel, it will be from here. Let's keep on pressing shift to align the next joint in a horizontal way, and it will be what it is, the tiptoe. So the first joint goes where our heel will rotate, and the second joint totally horizontal to where the tiptoe will rotate, meaning where the character will be on his tips. The next joint we will locate it, we will drag it and we will locate it just above the instep. And the last joint we will drag it just above the joint of the ankle. Let's press enter, of course. If we go to the perspective view, the joints will have been created at the center like all the others. So maybe I will delay this shadow. The two shadows kind of get in my way. Just in order to have a little not to have so much shadows so I won't get any confused or anything with the scene. Let's deactivate these shadows. Ready. So as I mentioned, remember that the joints, as long as we create them from the right view, they are created in the center. So we have to relocate them with the front view. Let's drag them right here. Here, what I like to do is center the joint in this ankle. Activate the x-axis, which will turn this arrow into yellow. We hold the V key to stick to the vertices. And the mouse wheel, we can press it as a button and we move it close to the joint so it will stick here. Another way is simple activating the addition to vertices and start moving close to the joint where we want to locate it. Those are the two ways to do it. And ready. Now we will name this, of course, these joints. We will name this one left sole or left sole heel. This can be another way to name it instead of reverse foot control, although it doesn't matter which one you choose as long as you remember that this is for the rotation of the heel and the tiptoe, as well as the instep. It also works to place the character in the ground, so when you move our gravity center down, the feet won't move with the gravity center, but they will stay in the ground. That's why you can also name it that way, left sole or left sole heel. Remember that the position can be any, but the rotation has to be at 0. Let's go to the next joint down in the hierarchy. This one will be left sole tiptoe to differentiate it with the tiptoe here. This is left tip toe and this will be left sole tip toe. Okay? The next one will be left sole instep. To differentiate it, of course, with this one, the left instep. And this is left sole instep. And of course, the last one will be the left sole ankle to differentiate it with the left ankle. Okay, what I like to do with these joints, so you won't get confused with the others, is give them another color. So select the joint or root bone of that bone hierarchy, open the attribute editor, the direct access is press Ctrl A, and we move to the display menu. Drawing overrides, enable overrides, and we will give it a red color. So we can differentiate the joints that will let us stick the character to the ground, or to differentiate the joints that stick the character with the main joints. And now they are correctly named. It's very important to make one side in the best possible way. The joints perfectly named, rotation at 0 with the colors we want, so the right side will only have to be duplicated. Remember that our character has a symmetric model. Half of his body is exactly the same as the other half, but only in the opposite way. So in this form, when we get all these joints, we will only have to duplicate them to the other side. Now let's go to the joints in the hand. Very likely here we can use this option to adhere at the center of the geometry, okay? So first let's create the joint in the little finger. I'm going to press 6 to get out of the illumination mode so I can perfectly see the flexions of the fingers. So let's put the first joint here. Okay, it is important to see all the flexions. I believe from here we can look them better. One flexion, another flexion, and the tip toe, okay? We can tell that this tool is very useful now. Press enter and we do exactly the same with the next finger. Here it is very useful, this tool, to adhere the joints at the center of the geometry, even if we have it in the perspective view. So let's put the flexion for the fingers, press enter, and let's do the same with this one. And we have to make sure, even if the tool is active, we have to check from different angles that all the joints are actually in the center of the geometry, just to make sure everything is right. We're going to do the same with the thumb, starting with this flexion and to the tip toe. Again, check from different angles that the joint is perfectly centered. Remember that the thumb has another flexion in this fat zone of the hand that we have here. So we are going to place a joint right in this part that would be like the fat zone of the hand, approximately here. We press enter, okay? I'm going to deactivate the snap, and what we have to do now is parent these joints so that that moves will be the one that moves from behind, so we can give the thumb more control and flexibility. And so far we have everything right. Finally, what we have to do is parent out these joints of the fingers to the joint in the wrist. Also, we have to make sure that the joint in the wrist is in the right position from different angles. So what's left to do is select all these joints, parent them to the wrist, pressing the P key, and we will name them, of course. Let's start with this one. This will be left finger, little finger 1. Okay? We press the direction down key. Sometimes it fails, so let's do it calmly. The next one will be left little finger 2. Instead of pressing enter of the numeric keyboard, press enter of the alphanumeric keyboard. Okay, one, two. Okay, let's go to the next one. I mentioned this because little finger 3. When you press enter in the numeric keyboard, notice that you introduce the name, but you can still be writing on the text box. So if you press the enter in the alphanumeric keyboard, the name you wrote is applied. Let's go to the next one. It will be left ring finger 1. The next one will be left ring finger 2. And the next one, left finger 3. Okay, next it will be left middle 1. Remember to activate your viewport so you can go down in the hierarchy. Left middle 2. Remember, if I press the direction down key, there it will stop selecting. I just activate a little my viewport and I can move down with the direction key. Left middle 3, let's verify that everything is in order. The name of each joint. All rotation at 0, the position doesn't matter. Let's go to the next one. Left index finger 1, left index finger 2, and the last left index finger 3. Ready. Now, this will be thumb 1, left thumb 1, or base thumb, however you want to call it, using the same syntax as we used before, like this is shoulder and this is shoulder base. We will apply the same here, left thumb base, and the next joint will be the flexion 1, left thumb 1. Left thumb 2, and left thumb 3. Ready? Let's verify that everything is okay. Oh, the tiptoes were named if you notice. We have to name them so we won't get confused. So this is little finger 1, 2, 3, and this can be left little finger tip. Just to have them correctly named, left ring finger tip. This will be left middle tip. Remember that the tiptoes won't really affect their character. We're doing this just to keep the order in the hierarchy. Tip, and happens exactly the same here. We named this one left thumb 3, but it should be left thumb tip. Alright, so far we are doing very well. Now what's left to do is duplicate these joints for the right side. And we will finish here, so this lesson won't be too long. We will continue in the next one.